Also, another special guest here, Bob Roth, the Executive Director of the David Lynch Foundation. And we're all here because we all have something in common. We all practice transcendental meditation, which I didn't know about until I learned it from you, and you taught me how to do it after Jerry introduced it. And I think people don't really understand exactly what it is and what a difference it's made in people's lives. You've been doing it
I've been doing it 40 years this year, 40 years of TM. Now, you just started doing it.
2 years. I'm in my second year.
And you have this insane job, right?
Which you've learned all about this morning.
Yeah. You have to get up at like 9 at night to get here.
And it makes all the difference.
It makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
But it's very hard to explain. You know how I was describing it to somebody? I was saying, it's like having you know how your phone has a charger? It's like if you had a charger for your whole body and mind. That's what TM is.
And you said something very important to me when we first started, because it was one of the questions I had. You said, this is not a religion. It's a technique. It's compatible with all kinds of religions. What it really does is try to get the stress out of your life, and now scientists are finding real health benefits.
Well, the whole idea is that we have very active, noisy levels of the mind, that we sort of got to go here, got to do this, got to do that. But every human being has deep within a settled, calm, silent level of their mind. And this transcendental meditation is just an effortless way to have the active, excited mind settle down, experience that inner calm. At the same time, the body gains a very deep state of rest. That rest eliminates stress. You have more energy, wakes up the brain, and you guys can do your jobs.
Right, and the American Heart Association actually says it works.
No, the American Heart Association just came out with a study a month ago that showed that transcendental meditation highly effective for reducing high blood pressure, for reducing risk of stroke, and actually reducing mortality rates by almost 50% from people who've been meditating for 5 years.
Well,
and they find that hosting morning television is just the opposite. All of those things.
It counteracts it all.
Aging and
anti-does all of it. Yeah.
So I'm just keeping them in balance.
Yeah.
It's basically fighting
You die the
evil.
exact same day. You would have. Yeah.
That's really reassuring, Jerry.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Welcome.
You're also doing some I'm going to move over right now to some very exciting work you guys are doing, because it's not just, it can help anybody, but you guys are going into schools right now, helping at-risk kids, helping soldiers coming back from Iraq, Afghanistan, who are suffering from post-traumatic stress, also women who've been the victims of violence.
Well, I mean, for example, the Department of Defense just provided a $2 million grant to study the effects of transcendental meditation on post-traumatic stress disorder. The fact is, as Forbes magazine said, stress is the black plague of the 21st century. It's an ugly thing. It can't be prevented. It can't be cured by conventional means. And now this technique, this particular meditation technique, has been shown to be highly effective in eliminating post-traumatic stress disorder. And so it's being used in schools where kids have, they're young children in the urban centers have the same symptoms of PTSD as soldiers coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. It's interesting that something so ancient and traditional, and not a religion, and not a philosophy, and not a change in lifestyle, anyone can do it, that something that simple can have such a profound impact on very modern ailments.
And we're seeing, as you say, the government get involved and really try to promote it and really multiply the good and the difference that can come from it all.
There's a there's a military college in Vermont called Norwich University, and the president, Admiral Schneider, he feels, we're offering TM there to his cadets, he feels that this should be a part of basic training because it adds resiliency. It adds resiliency, so the immune system to stress is strengthened.
Bob, Jerry, thanks for coming in and talking about it.
Thanks, George.
Okay.